1,000 years ago, these ships terrorized coastlines from Ireland to Constantinople. They carried warriors across oceans that others thought impossible to cross. But here's what historians are just now realizing. The Vikings didn't just build boats, they engineered the world's first truly adaptive sailing machines. And the secret wasn't in their sails, their oars, or even their legendary craftsmanship. It was something so ingenious that modern naval architects are still trying to replicate it today. Think about this. How did ships built in the forests of Scandinavia end up in the rivers of Russia, the shores of North America, and the markets of the Middle East? Ships that could carry 60 warriors, tons of cargo, and enough supplies for months. Yet were shallow enough to navigate rivers just 3 feet deep? The answer lies in a design principle so revolutionary that it changed maritime history forever. But first, let me show you exactly what made these ships so extraordinary. Picture 9th century Scandinavia. Dense forests, countless waterways, and communities scattered across islands and coastlines. The Vikings weren't just raiders. They were traders, explorers, and settlers who needed to move people and goods across vast distances. Most ships of this era were built for one purpose: Mediterranean galleys, built for calm seas and slave-powered oars. Northern European cogs, sturdy cargo haulers that couldn't handle rough weather. Saxon ships, coastal vessels that rarely ventured far from shore. But the Vikings needed something different. They needed a ship that could handle North Sea storms, navigate shallow rivers, beach on any shoreline, and be light enough to carry overland between waterways. So, they created something that shouldn't have worked. A ship that was simultaneously the fastest, most seaworthy, and most versatile vessel of its time. Let's break down the engineering. First, the hull. While other ships were built with thick, heavy planks, Viking shipwrights used a technique called clinker building. Overlapping planks, each one carefully shaped and fitted, creating a hull that was incredibly strong yet surprisingly flexible. These weren't just nailed together. Each plank was secured with hand-forged iron rivets, creating a shell that could flex with the waves instead of fighting them. The result? A ship that could handle seas that would break apart rigid vessels. The keel, the ship's backbone, was carved from a single oak tree, sometimes over 60 feet long. This wasn't just for strength. It was the foundation for the ship's most crucial feature. Despite being 70 feet long and capable of carrying massive loads, a fully loaded longship drew less than 3 feet of water. 3 feet. That's shallower than most modern swimming pools. Imagine you're a medieval coastal dweller. You wake up to what sounds like thunder, but the sky is clear. You run to the shore and see them. Dragon-headed ships appearing through the morning mist, moving impossibly fast against the wind. Here's where it gets interesting. These ships could sail and row simultaneously. 30 oars per side, each manned by a warrior, while a single square sail caught the wind. When the wind died, they rowed. When the wind was favorable, they sailed. When they needed maximum speed, they did both. But the real genius was tactical. While enemy ships were restricted to deep harbors and predictable routes, Vikings could appear anywhere. They could sail up rivers, beach on any shore, and even carry their ships overland to reach new waterways. This is how they struck Paris, by sailing up the Seine. How they reached Kiev by navigating Russian rivers. How they traded with Constantinople while others were still struggling to cross the English Channel. But here's the secret that made it all possible. And it's something that took historians decades to fully understand. The Vikings didn't just build ships. They built adaptive systems. Every component was designed to work independently while contributing to the whole. The hull could flex without breaking. The mast could be lowered for river navigation. The steering oar could be removed for beach landings. This wasn't accident. It was intentional engineering. The ships were essentially modular. Need to navigate a shallow river? Lower the mast, lighten the load, and row. Need to cross rough seas? Raise the sail, secure the cargo, and let the flexible hull ride the waves. Modern naval architects call this adaptive design, and it's something we're still trying to perfect. The Vikings solved problems we're still working on 1,000 years later. This adaptability didn't just make the Vikings successful raiders, It made them the world's first truly global maritime culture. They established trade routes that connected Europe, Asia, and North America centuries before Columbus. We find Viking artifacts in places that seem impossible: silver from the Middle East in Norwegian graves, silk from China in Icelandic settlements, Greenland walrus ivory in European markets. The longship wasn't just a vessel. It was a tool for cultural exchange, exploration, and the spread of ideas. These ships carried more than warriors and cargo. They carried language, technology, and genetic diversity across continents. Every longship discovery reveals new secrets. The Gokstad ship, excavated in 1880, was so well preserved that a replica successfully crossed the Atlantic in 1893. The Oseberg ship showed us the artistic sophistication of Viking culture. The Skoldelev ships revealed the diversity of their maritime technology. Today's naval architects study Viking design principles for everything from racing yachts to military vessels. The concept of flexible hulls, it's being applied to modern warships. Shallow draft capability, essential for modern amphibious operations. But here's what's really remarkable. Despite all our modern technology, GPS, radar, satellite communication, composite materials, we still can't build a ship that matches the Viking longship's combination of speed, versatility, and seaworthiness using only the materials available in medieval Scandinavia. Modern replica builders need power tools, modern adhesives, and precise measurements to recreate what Viking shipwrights accomplished with hand tools, traditional techniques, and generational knowledge. The Viking longship represents something remarkable in human history, a perfect fusion of engineering, artistry, and practical necessity. They didn't just build better boats, they reimagined what a ship could be. These vessels carried their builders across oceans, up rivers, and into legend. They were the key that unlocked the medieval world and connected civilizations that had never met. What other ancient technologies do you think we still don't fully understand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Viking engineering, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the genius of ancient civilizations. And click the notification bell so you don't miss our next video, where we'll explore the secrets behind Roman concrete that's still standing after 2,000 years. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.